After losing 10 starters on both sides of the ball, the Farmington Knights took pride in making school history with 12 wins and a trip all the way to the Class 4 semifinals last year. Coach Todd Vaughn says not only does each new team have its own personality, but this version has almost all new players as well.
I've never been in this situation before, and you've always at least had 3 or 4 kids come back on each side of the ball. But, you know, and I tell people this all the time. We have 5 or 6 juniors last year that would have started varsity and been good varsity football players if it weren't for the fact that we had such a deep senior class. So I've got faith in these kids, and they worked really, really hard in off-season, had a great off-season. They improved so much physically. You know, we've got a lot to learn. A lot of kids have got to learn stuff in a hurry, but I like what I see.
The lone returning defensive starter for Farmington is linebacker Ryder Garrett, who's played in his all-state brother Roper's shadow for a few seasons. But Ryder says that's not all bad.
I've been playing varsity level for a while now, and I got the experience, but I did feel a little undershadowed because he was bigger and he was a really good football player. So, I mean, I was hiding behind how good he was. I think it was a benefit just because I can see how, to do stuff better and see what I could excel on and see what I could learn from him since he was such a good football player.
Coach Vaughn has faith that Ryder can lead the defense.
You know, Ryder's an excellent football player, and he's kind of been in his brother's shadow for 2 or 3 years now. It's his time to shine. I think he's looking forward to that also.
After saying goodbye to 2 record-setting quarterbacks the last 2 seasons, Farmington will have another new signal caller. Junior Justin Bain served as understudy last year. He has only 1 goal this season.
It's a lot of shoes to fill, but I'm just going to come out here and just try and mostly win. I'm not worried about personal records or anything.
Coach Vaughn expects Bain to become one of the most lethal run-pass threats he's ever had.
Justin, so far, has really stepped up, you know, as far as understanding the scheme. And, you know, last year was a sophomore and he learned a lot. But I think this year so far he's really taken it upon himself to understand what he's supposed to do. And the fact that the more he knows about our scheme and what we can do, the better off we're going to be. And so far, you know, what we see we like. And Justin kind of reminds me a lot of, I know you weren't here then, of Aaron Baker. Aaron was our quarterback the very first year we ran the system and was a good passing quarterback and also a really, really good running quarterback. And I think Justin may be one of the best running quarterbacks we've had in a while because he's a really good athlete and he's a tough kid.
While Vaughn had his deepest ever receiving core last season, he'll look to a senior to become one of his most complete receivers this year in Evan Donovan.
Evan, I think, physically has a chance to be one of the best receivers we've ever had at Farmington because, you know, we've had some really good receivers. We've had some kids that run well, and we've had some kids that are big and physical, and like Doug Warren. We've had some guys with great hands like Jay Bird. But I think as far as having the total package, Evan is all of it. You know, he's 6'2", he's 190, 180 pounds, 185 pounds. He runs well, he can jump. So I think, you know, he's looking forward to kind of being that kind of guy too, and we're going to need him to have a big year.
Farmington will open the season at Festus once again this year, but one of the highlights will come in Week 4 when the Knights play Sykeston in the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis. Coach Vaughn and the players can't wait.
That's awesome. I think that speaks volumes for our program and our kids and our community too, you know, because, you know, the guy doing this, you know, I know that he's a businessman. He wants to make money, so he wants to try to get some good teams up there in communities, and Sykeston's another good community. You know, they're going to travel well, and Farmington community is going to travel well, and it's going to be a good experience for everybody.
As the reigning conference champion, Vaughn says it'll be tough to repeat in the SEMO North.
I think it's going to be probably one of the more balanced, best conferences we've had in a while in the SEMO North. I think Bluff's going to be better. I think Cape's going to be better. Jackson hired a great football coach, you know, and, you know, Sykeston's always been good, and I think they always will be. So it's going to be real competitive.
Super Talk 800, KREI, and MIMO Info is once again your home for Farmington football. Tune in each week to hear the Knights live, and stay tuned for the End Zone Show. I'm Chad Speaker for Regional Radio Sports.